Hi besties, we are headed to Barnes. We're on our way to pick up Lila Sage's new book, Soul Searching, and we're also on our way to pick up Blood Princess, Princess of Blood, the second book to Servant of Earth, because I need to read that. It probably won't be in October because we already have a stacked TBR, but Soul Searching is on my October TBR. So let's go have some fun. These beats are sick. Tickets have been secured. The bag is quite heavy. I will do a little book haul when we get home. We did get the 2 books that we went in for, and then we got 2 extras that I have been eyeballing for quite some time, but I'm just about to run to the post office because we have to mail a Pango book. Okay, so obviously with our ultimate book video, we have to do a little book haul. Listen, I feel that I was very responsible. Even though we bought 2 extra books, these are books that I have been staring at for quite some time and I'm gonna get to very soon. So we went in there for Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This is her first book in her Sweetwater Peak series. Lila Sage was my first cowboy romance author. I fell absolutely in love with her writing and I'm so excited for this. Paranormal romance, our FMC can like see and it seems like interact with ghosts. And then we don't know a lot about this mystery man besides he's like a carpenter and like no one knows why he returned back to our FMC's hometown. So we're gonna learn more about Brady, and Collins is trying to figure out what's happening with these ghosties. And I cannot freaking wait to read this. I think that this is the book we're gonna read in this ultimate book video. And then I fell so in love with Servant of Earth when I read it. Sarah Hawley has such a fun writing style that even though this is like a fae fantasy romance, it felt really new and fun and fresh. And it's trials. So in the first book there were these deadly trials and now we have Princess of Blood. I love these hardcovers that I think this is, oh, Ace Publishing. I thought these were published by Tor. I love these books because they don't have a dust jacket. Oh, this is Penguin Random House. I was totally wrong. Penguin Random House, they don't have dust jackets. It's just like printed onto the hardcover and I love it so much. I'm probably gonna read this in November, like I think I mentioned, but I cannot wait to get to it. I had to. I've been seeing everyone have the best time with this series and it's all I'm thinking about. I got the first Dungeon Crawler Carl book by Matt Dinneman. I know that these are on KU, but I have been really enjoying reading physically lately, and I feel like this is a series I'm definitely intimidated by because it's a lot of books, they get longer as you go, and so like having it physically will help me like read it faster than what I would if it was just on KU, I think. It's like a sci-fi game show that's super silly goofy even though it takes place during this like apocalypse of Earth. It sounds so freaking fun and I love the covers of the hardcovers. Sorry for being redundant. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that that was underneath. I just think even though they're black, they have such a fun pop of color and I would like to collect all of these hardcovers. So, Dungeon Crawler Carl. And then this final book was really just to continue feeding my addiction, even though this copy is so beat up and the spine is like a little bit funky, but I got the next book in book 6 in Zodiac Academy. I'm about to finish book 4 today. I have like 150 pages left, which basically means I have like 5 minutes left of the book. I do have book 5 sitting on my shelf behind me waiting for me, but I had to get book 6 because I just have to continue to have these on deck. Like if I don't have the next book in the series, or really the next 2 books in the series, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. Like I am so freaking obsessed. I started this series in August or September, I can't remember, and I have caught the binge reading bug. Like all I want to do is binge read these books. It's crazy that I'm squeezing in books in between reading Zodiac Academy. I'm absolutely freaking obsessed. But all that being said, I'm gonna take off this little Barnes & Noble exclusive sticker and we're gonna get to soul searching. So many people have said that this is like a 5-star or a high 4-star read for them, and I cannot wait. This is the perfect book for October, to be quite honest. We are officially starting soul searching. I'm so excited. I actually read the first page of this last night. Why the first page, I couldn't tell you, but I've been trying to pay a little bit more attention to opening lines of books because it really sets the tone for the rest of the book. I also enjoy when an author puts thought into the first sentence of each chapter, the first and last sentences of each chapter. I have a lot of fun with that. But anyways, the first line of this book I think really does set the tone very nicely. There were 3 things I could see out of my car's windshield, and all of them were ominous. A sharp and jagged mountain range with one point taller than all of the rest, a gray sky with clouds that were undoubtedly full of rain, and a plume of smoke that was a little too close for comfort. How close? Coming out of the hood of my car, close. I love that imagery of very scenic, because this takes place in, is it Wyoming? It's Wyoming. So like beautiful scenery, and we get that right up front, but we have like rain clouds, we have these mountains that are definitely a bit ominous. I'm so excited. Full transparency, I'm just coming out of reading the 4th book in Zodiac Academy, Shadow Princess. I literally just finished it this morning, and the cliffhanger that it ends on is insane. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because that was a 5-star for me. And so like Zodiac Academy has just been such a high, every single book, like I haven't given it below a 4-star. It's all of the books have been like 4 and 5 stars. This is like a high 4-star prediction for me, but it just makes me nervous, like coming off of a book that was such an enjoyable but crazy reading experience. Like I always just get nervous for the next book that's following it up. I feel like Lila will not disappoint, and this is such a different type of book from like a Zodiac Academy, so I think it'll be fine. But I just wanted to throw that out there. I have a couple minutes left of reading to do. I'm hoping I can get one more chapter. We're on page 40. I'm hoping I can read one more chapter because this definitely sucks you in from the very beginning. He is so down bad for her, and can I just say, I love that we have a main character in this who is more like alternative, I guess we could say. Like she has patchwork sleeves, she has both sides of her nose pierced, she has short like a bob brown hair with hazel eyes. It just fits her personality really well, and he's so down bad for her already because she's Gorgina and he's very mysterious. Like she isn't mysterious to us as the reader, like we get more insight because it's a dual POV. She's not sharing a lot with him, but he doesn't share a lot with anybody. So even like people in the town that he's known for about a year, he definitely keeps to himself. He's given them pretty bare minimum answers as to why he's like come to Sweetwater Peak, which sounds like it's fairly isolated. Like it is a back road town in the mountains. Collins sees that it's weird, like, well, why would he pick this town? Is he from here? Did he grow up here? Does he have family here? No, he just wanted a fresh start. And so immediately when he says that to her, she's like, well, what happened? Like you used to have a completely different career, and then you just took up doing upholstery in like a really small town that barely anyone's heard of. Like that doesn't make a lot of sense. Did you get your heart broken? And he was like, he just completely deflected her questions, but like, yes, something happened that made him want to go somewhere that no one would know him, slash like no one would find him, and that's intriguing. The town is described in a really interesting way too, where it's not like creepy, but it's sort of run down. I want to use the word decrepit, but I feel like that might go a little bit over the top, because it sounds like the stores that they have open, they have like a couple eating spots, they have a saltwater taffy place, they have this upholstery place, they have an antique shop. Like, it seems like it's cute, but it's definitely an older town. The town center is a bit run down. There's a ton of empty storefronts, so it's definitely not like a bustling small town. It's not giving Stars Hollow vibes. It's giving like rundown Stars Hollow vibes. But Collins did say like it doesn't radiate like bad energy, but it's like a little unsettling. You just feel maybe like you're being watched, sort of. Especially Collins, because we find out that she can see ghosts and she sort of interacts with them. Her sister sort of has that as well, but things are kind of changing with the ghosts for her in this moment. So you get all of that right up front. Like I said, I'm only 40 pages in, and it does really jump into some of that creepiness right away. I like the dynamic. I think it's really fun. I think it's unique to a lot of the other books that I've read, and I'm curious to see how this continues to develop with the romance, because obviously this is a romance first, but like, how is that paranormal element going to come into play here? We are almost at the halfway point in this gorgeous, gorgeous book, and I could not be having a better time, to be quite honest. We are on chapter 14, page 145. I have loved every second of this. I mean, Lila Sage never ceases to absolutely amaze me. Can I just say, I really appreciate an author who knows the like word limit, or knows the length of the book that they like to write. Did I want her books to be longer because I enjoyed them so much and I would love to read more from her? Absolutely. I would love if she did a longer book, but the fact that she's starting a new series and this book is like 340 pages about, this is clearly like the length of story that she likes to tell, and I never feel like I want more from the story. I never feel like, oh, I wish we dove into this more or this more. Like, she doesn't leave anything on the table. She writes her romances concise, to the point. They're so perfect, and I love every second of it. We've gotten a really good introduction to the town. Like, I was surprised how much info we got for the setting, but not surprised in a bad way. I like that she's setting the tone for this new series, because this is such a different feel from her cowboy romances. And this town really has a personality of its own. It's not like a creepy place. Like, it's not like an overly creepy town, but it's definitely not happy, sunshiny, bright. Like, it fits with the paranormal vibe. It's almost like, as we've been learning about our two main characters, we've also been learning a lot about the town. And we just got to, I would say, more of like a turning point in their relationship, where we've just been very surface level, getting to know them. They each have something that they're running from, I would say, in this book. And we've just gotten to the part where they've opened up to each other. They're kind of sharing secrets that they aren't ready to talk about with anybody else. They didn't also think that they were ready to talk about it with anybody, but they have this sort of like open, they just have like a bond right away. Like, you know, when you meet someone and you just feel like you can be more open with them, and because you're not super close to this person, like Collins in particular is hiding, I don't want to say like dark secrets, but like there's things that are going on in her life that she's carrying the weight of. They definitely feel like heavier topics, and she's carrying that with her, and she doesn't want to open up to anyone that she's close with about those things. And so it's almost like a little outlet for her to talk about, even though she just met this person like a week ago and they're not that close, but they're like friendly. You're not in this, you're almost like an outside perspective, and so I'm going to let you know what's going on. I love the ghosts and how those are introduced to us pretty much right away, but it's so fascinating how they interact with Collins. I figured that was a good point to update because we're sort of at like a turning point with our characters. I will update again. This is such a short book that like I want to do my updates once I've read another good portion, so I will update once we hit like another pivotal moment. She keeps taking him to these like abandoned places in town because Collins is obviously like the creepy weird art girl who is also like really cool. So she would hang out at all of these like abandoned places. I think we talked about the abandoned church that she took him to, and then she gets hurt and he like goes into protection, take care of her mode. And then they just went to this, we'll just call it the murder house because that was so freaking funny. And she goes to the attic where she had like this really old dark room for her photography, and she gets hurt again. And then he takes her back and he's trying to figure out if she has a concussion or not. And he calls her a tarsier. Editing me, please remember to put a picture of this on screen. I'm dying. He's looking in her eyes and he's like, you look like a tarsier right now. And she's like, I don't know what that is. And he's like, it's a really cute little animal. This thing has the biggest eyeballs I've ever seen. Okay, we have about 100 pages left of soul searching. I think it's took a little bit of a turn for me. We have had our first kiss with these two. I just feel like they're reading so much more like a second chance romance or like a friends to lovers than what the story is actually portraying. Like, they did take a couple weeks to get to know each other, which I think, I mean, it makes sense, but they've had this tension of like being interested and thinking that the other one is attractive, that I'm surprised it took them so long to act on their feelings, because they had so many moments to like have a first kiss or have more romantic moments, but they instead shared, I mean, they like flirted, but it wasn't anything like crazy hot and heavy. And then we get this one moment where finally, they were set up on so many different moments where something could have happened. We get to one moment, something finally happens, it's just kissing, and then from there they like can't stop kissing each other, which is fine. But then we just got this big twist of the story, because I think it mentions Collins goes home because she finds out a developer is trying to buy her parents' antique shop out from under them, and she doesn't have a choice. She goes back to help them. We find out more about this developer, and it just feels to me like a really corny twist. Like, I wish it hadn't gone in that direction, but also I'm confused. Like, I literally just stopped at a chapter end where we got that plot twist, so I'm sure that we're gonna find out more about it, but I feel like something still doesn't fit. And we've got to know a lot about Collins. We're in her town, we're with her family, so like naturally we're learning a lot more about her, whereas Brady, we know about him, we know some of his past, but we really haven't gotten the details of any of his past, like some details about his family and stuff, but things just aren't like clicking and making sense for me. And I'm not sure if I like how this romance has officially like started. I think that they're cute together. I think that a lot of their like haunted moments, and by haunted moments I just mean they're doing like creepy stuff in this creepy town, which has been really fun. And I think I enjoyed those moments more than them actually like kissing and like becoming more romantic. We have finished her. I think I'm gonna hold off on giving a rating. I feel like I need to sit with this book a little bit. I'm kind of leaning towards like a 3.5, but upon finishing it, I kind of feel like it's like a 3 star. There's elements about this that I really, really liked. I like that Lila Sage is taking maybe a step out of her comfort zone in a way to write like a sort of paranormal romance. It's not a paranormal romance, let's be like, there's ghosts present, but it's like a human romance. I feel like sometimes paranormal romance might be misleading. I love the town. I think I really like the characters. I don't know if I loved the romance in this, kind of from like my last update. It wavered a little bit for me. I think that it's very cute, but as they got a little bit more intimate with each other, that's when I kind of started pulling away from the story. I just feel like Colin's character is so well fleshed out, and I feel like a lot of the characters in the town are very fleshed out. I almost fell over. I really enjoy Collins and her family, but Brady doesn't have a lot of personality. Well, he has a personality, but I just feel like his character was so two-dimensional compared to other characters. Like, even Colin's mom and her dad seem like more fully rounded characters than what Brady brought to the table. Even though we got his POV, it just felt like he didn't have that much of a backstory to me. He didn't have a lot of depth to his character. The characters that made up the town, and maybe it's because Brady is a transplant to the town, that Lila felt like she didn't have to like build him out as much because he's like finding himself, sort of reinventing himself. This is a new beginning for him. And then I also feel like Collins kind of goes through a big change in her person and in her character, but I don't think that's an excuse to just leave him flat. Yeah, he's really flat, and I didn't love... He's cute with Collins, don't get me wrong, but like, I wasn't like swooning over him like I've swooned over other of Lila Sage's love interests, which is really sad. But I will also throw in a caveat that sometimes with series like this, contemporary romance series, the first book is not usually the best for me. I did feel like with the Rebel Blue Ranch series, I loved every book in that series. The first one wasn't the one that wavered, but I'm going to chalk it up to the first book is wavering in the Sweetwater Peak series. I will be continuing with the series. I love Lila Sage so much. And also like a 3 to 3.5 isn't a bad rating in my book. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun. I love doing these ultimate book videos. There's nothing better than the feeling of buying a book and then immediately going into reading it. If you've made it this far, leave a little ghost emoji in the comments down below if you'd like to let me know that you are here. I will catch you in the comments, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. Toodles.